Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with Lisa. I'm spiritual coach Lisa Hobb. It is Sunday, May 17th, 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new to this podcast, please be sure to check out my website at lisahobb.com. I'm also on Instagram under spiritual coach Lisa M. Hobb. I'm on Facebook under my business page, Lisa M. Hobb, Spiritual Coach and Medium, and I am on TikTok under at Lisa M. Hobb. So please go and follow me there because I am in the process of being on social media much more in order to, I guess, encourage you to get to know me, to teach, to serve. So please follow me on all those sites. If you're listening on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share. And if you can on any platform, I know there's others. I've seen my podcast on Spotify, on iHeart, wherever you're listening from. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate those who listen every week and give me feedback. And I'm just so grateful. Thank you so much. And for those of you who are new, please be sure to check out my website at lisahobb.com. It talks about my work. It also, I have just started selling digital products, and I am actually, by the time you read this or hear this, maybe I need more coffee this morning. With this podcast, there should be a digital product page on my website, and there are currently a bundle of meditations to help you to release fear, to connect to your heart center, to encourage you to connect with more wealth and abundance, to connect to the higher source, which you can call God or energy or, whatever you want to call that source. And there will be a new bundle coming out next week, which is about connecting to angels and your guides. So stay tuned for that as well. They're just $33, which is a spiritual number, and there is a connection to the 33. It's a teaching number. It's a spirit guide number. And so get that for yourself. Of course, meditations do not replace treatment, as this podcast does not replace treatment from a licensed mental health or medical professional, but it can help to relax you and have other benefits as well. Meditation has been known to lower the blood pressure, calm the mind. It's just overall well-being. And whatever you get from it in a wonderful, positive way is beneficial. And let me know if you have purchased it, please, and you have obtained the benefits of it, even in the smallest way. I would love to know. Thank you, thank you. Please email me about that at serendityharbor@verizon.net. All right, on to today's topic. And today's topic is, are you awakening? And how do you know? I know I have, and I am. I'm different. I've seen all the signs. Now I want to be clear that this isn't about the human side of things, where if you're awakening and somebody else isn't, it means that you're better, special, even more evolved. It just means that we're all doing it on this earth, and we do it with our free will. The earth is evolving, and many of us are joining the earth. Okay, it's personal and it's global. All right, and so it doesn't mean that you are, again, more special or unique. It just means you are where you are, but there are benefits to awakening. And I'd like to give you the signs, but I'd also like to give you the steps so that you as well, I don't know if we could shortcut it because there's so much healing involved, but both to give you, as I said, the signs and the steps to see what you can do to implement this inner growth, this inner change within your life, because it is worth it. Right? So and these are all things I've noticed about me. And one of the first things I noticed about me is that I no longer want to take part in any drama, any gossip. I don't want to be around people who talk behind people's backs. I feel icky. I feel negative. I feel uncomfortable. I want to just like escape from it. That is a big sign of awakening. And I apologize. I didn't explain fully awakening. We are in the third dimension right now, the third dimension of the matter dimension, where the bills are, the dramas, the competition, the worries, the stresses, the looking at time as real, living by the clock, so to speak, all of that heavierness. And then you transition, our planet's transitioning up to fourth dimension, which is where we're understanding the power of our imagination, our connection to the I am, or God, or source, and how we are co-creators. Time travel, quantum leaps. And then from that bridge, we go to the fifth dimension, where there is more oneness. There is more of that compassion, that empathy. I cannot tell you that it means the world gets perfect, but it is a lighter energy, that fifth, than anything close to what's happening on the third. All right. And we've been living the third for a long time, and it's programmed within us, and it's been dropping through the generations, the belief systems, the fears. So fifth dimension is fearless. It doesn't have the fear. It has the community. It has the humanity that we have little, notices of now, depending on where you are. Yeah, it's there, but it's there in a more fullness, okay? So I'm sorry about that. I didn't explain that right away. So I noticed right away I had to back up from it. And when it's happening around me, I don't like it. I don't want to participate, because that's part of that oneness. It's you have trust in people around you. You don't, it's a lower level activity. And it's not how higher consciousness works. Higher consciousness sees everyone with love, has understanding, has empathy. And as you bridge into the fifth, you get more empathy in a way that you really don't have in the third, and is not always seen in the fourth. So it's very important to catch how I want to say this to you. If you want to ascend up into the fifth, I would stop gossiping. And when I hear people who are ascending say, no, I'm not going to have that. I'm not going to gossip behind someone's back. I'm like, they're my people. They're my people. And I also notice when people don't talk about it, but they don't do it. They don't go there, and I love it. It's like they'll stop themselves. It's like, no, I'm not going there. And you're my people. You are my people. Yes, no, absolutely. So that will mean that your friendships will change, and maybe even your family relationships will change in some way as well. Friendships and people, my clients talk to me about this a bit, quite a bit actually, and it's happened in my own life. Friendships will change on you because you're not aligned with them anymore. Maybe they, want to be victims of their life. Maybe they're in that place. Maybe they want to go, yeah. I've had that. I've had it happen where people just want to talk about people behind their backs. But I always said, not always, but in these years, I've said to a loved one, if they're talking behind your back or their back, they're talking behind yours. right? And that, I said that to someone and they remembered it. And they changed their relationships. They backed up because they're like, yeah, all they do is talk about, they to their face will be a friend. And then behind their back, they're bashing them. That's probably happening to me too. No, do not accept that. That is not higher energy. That is not coming from anything that's going to get you what you want to manifest in your life, what you want to come back to you, because you are who you surround yourself with. And who comes around you is who you are. Does that really serve you? Probably not in the lighted way you want it to. But it can be painful when people back away from us, or we do decide to back away from them, because relationships are eternal. They have emotions. They're significant. They have connection. But it comes down to, is it toxic? Is it healthy? Is it what you deserve? And if it is something that is unhealthy for you, then it has to be changed. In some way, it has to be changed. And it's also important to know, and you'll find this as you evolve into the fourth dimension and knocking on the fifth. We're not here to fix or save people. They follow us and our example. You live your example and you're doing it. But no one's going to change because you know it's best for them. I have people that come to me, clients for hypnosis, and then duck. Or they say they're going to book a hypnosis session and then they duck because they are not ready to heal. And I can't make them. It is about making the decision of self-love for yourself and then investing. It is always it's for the best that we invest in ourselves. It is the greatest act of self-love. So look at those relationships and thank those relationships if they're no longer there. And also have gratitude for them if you decide that you no longer want them there. What will happen is that those relationships will be replaced with relationships that you are aligned with, but there may be a gap. You may go through a time when you feel very alone, like you've been abandoned. But eventually, friendships, supplemental relationships to family, all of that will arrive. And you'll notice it. It's like they're aligned with me. They are more like me. And I don't mean exactly like you. I mean in what is important to you, what your interests are. For me, it would be people that are very interested in spiritual topics and, again, treating people with non-judgment, kindness, unconditional, I've said before, I haven't said it in a long time, I've said that relationship is so easy. And what I mean by that, and I know I've heard Mike Dooley say that about his marriage. It took him a long time. Mike Dooley, by the way, best-selling author, Infinite Possibilities and other books. He says thoughts become things. When he talks about it being easy, it's so important. When I say easy, what I mean is that I can just be me. I don't have to worry about what I'm saying. I don't have to worry about, am I paying enough attention? I don't have to worry about making sure somebody else is always happy. I have relationships in my life today that are, they're so grateful for me. And yet I feel so much of the time that I could give more. And they're like, no, you have no understanding. You have given more than you know. And it's like, oh, it's such an adjustment. I didn't realize that in the past, how unhealthy I surrounded myself with. And I am just so grateful. And it's like you have to heal. It's like you're kind of, I didn't realize some trauma I went through where you're waiting to hear that there is something you have to do more. But that's not the case because I'm not aligned with that. So you may find that too, that you have to, well, I would say always receive and give. Give, receive, be in the flow, right? I'm in the flow, but I had to get used to, it's okay to receive. And I do receive much better than I ever did. But in my past, even though I didn't receive anything over the top, it was still expected to be returned. It was always conditional. I like to phrase it as there are people on this earth that feel that they have to buy people. And everything is done with an invoice written, whether they say it or not. It'll come out eventually. It'll always come out eventually. Truth is always revealed. So I wait for that invoice. And the invoice doesn't come. It doesn't come because we're free and clear. Zero due. So that's the alignment I have. I'm so grateful. And if you hear me every week, you know that I feel like there has to be another word for grateful because it doesn't cover it. It doesn't cover the amount of appreciation, love, gratitude. There's the feeling of being blessed that I have come to feel. And I want to surround it with more. I want more people like that around me. And I also note, by the way, because I'm not perfect, they handled that so well. They were so, people are showing me how to be more generous. And unexpectedly, some. And so I'm like, that wasn't your best moment. By the way, I'm not critical of myself, but I'll say to myself, that could have been a better moment from you. And look at them having the best moment. Note that, be aware of that. So but again, we should never, by the way, be critical of ourselves. But the game of the relationships in my life have been upped. They have up level. And again, very grateful. And I just let people be where they are. Just don't harm. I won't put up with disrespect. It used to be, am I enough? Am I doing enough? Again, putting it on me. Now I just just be you. It doesn't mean that I'm going to, allow you to be a certain way towards me. But I am not walking through this world harboring negativity, grudges, anything on this earth. I just hope everybody finds their happiness. Find your happiness and, always be kind and don't harm. So, another thing you may notice in your life, that I personally cannot tolerate violence. In the news, in movies, in anything, I can't. I can't, I can't even take, even though I don't like spiders, sometimes killing one. It's like, I apologize over and over and over and over again. I am a person of peace inside. And by the way, it doesn't mean people who are at peace inside are weaker. They're the strongest on this earth. All right? And I only want to really be connected to uplifting material, something that makes me laugh. Now, I think it's important to be informed. I will inform myself, but I watch how I feel. I always say, observe, but don't absorb. If I'm absorbing something, if something is making me highly uncomfortable in, again, that negative, icky way, I'm going to back away from it. I'm better reading, or I'm better getting my news from sources that just read the news and they don't try to be sensational. I don't like sensational, right? And so why is there always like a good news story, like with 30 seconds to go? Even Nightline on, ABC network will do like it's like they'll wait to the end of the broadcast to give you like a minute of something positive. It's like, no, that doesn't help us. It's not what I mean is be informed. What can I do to make that better? Sure. Serve, but it's all about causing you to tune in that fear-based feeling. And so it's not good. It's not good for the health. It just isn't. As I always like to say, it's not good for my health. So I limit very much exposure. Also, you may notice as you ascend from third to fourth to fifth that your intuitive abilities start to really increase. You know, and you don't know how you know, because the veil thins. The more you ascend up, the veil thins. And so you may perceive your loved ones around you even more from heaven, or other spiritual guides, angels. You may feel you're getting clear guidance in a way that you never had before. You're noticing synchronicities around you, noticing numbers around you, like, the big ones, 1111. It means that you're in that flow of higher consciousness energy, and you've stepped into it. It's who you are. And so and you also, by the way, will start to trust divine timing more and understand that the 3D physical is slower. So, I can be in the outcome. I can be in it's done. I pray for what I want. I know it's done, and I'll allow divine timing to set it up. That's, again, evolution, ascension, trusting, having that increased faith. All right. And you may find that as well about increased faith, that you're drawn. Maybe you're drawn to go back to church or read the Bible again. By the way, follow the call, because that higher source is calling us into communication. And so honor that. What are you drawn to read? Are you drawn to have more of a prayer practice or a meditation practice? That is part of your ascension. Now, there are those on this earth that want to keep us from going. And that is the Antichrist energy. And they will put fear in you. There's been a lot of talk about demons. Not to say, yes, demons exist. They do. But it doesn't mean that you need to fear demons. It just means that you need to be of higher consciousness, to know that you have angels to protect you. If you are wanting to be and aligned with God, then, and discerning, listening to your intuition, you do not have to fear the association with that of lower energy. You'll see it, understand it, and get away from it. All right? Now, also, this is something that I've noticed. I have an increased sensitivity to food. I can taste chemicals when I eat it. I no longer can tolerate processed foods for the most part. When I say for the most part, I might eat a Blue Zone diet meal that will have some processed in it, but for the most part, it's made of brown rice and vegetables and garbanzo beans. Okay. I even, not too long ago, ate some ice cream and I could taste the chemicals in the ice cream. It was not all natural, right? So that is your body chemistry changing to rise up. So that is why we're going more plant-based. Want to eat higher vibrational organic foods. It's not a trend. It's not a phase. Some people are giving up alcohol. Some people are just drinking less alcohol. It's what your body tells you it needs. Your body will tell you what it wants. And just go with it. If you want to give up something, then it is right to give it up. Right? So there's no one way to help your body to ascend with diet. It's whatever your particular individual body is calling you to do. And it is about taking care of and preserving your energy field, right? Keeping it its highest immune system. Resting when you need rest. Honoring it. Not always living by a certain clock. And you may notice that you wake up at a certain time of night. That's also part of the ascension. It's just your connection at that time to that highest energy. And sometimes it's 3 a.m. or different times. There's no set time for that as well. Just note it. And, do what you can with it. Sometimes I'm so wide awake. 3 a.m. I'll decide to read a book or meditate. But if you're still drowsy, just go gently back to sleep. Because this is, again, part of our ascension. So I want to suggest to you, when I say that you may notice your diet changing, I also want to encourage you to think about limiting processed foods. I haven't eaten, I'll eat occasional seafood. And it's always wild for the most part, right? Unless I'm out and there's limited resources. But at a restaurant, I mean. But I'll always go wild first because that has the least amount. It just has the most health about it. It just has the most health. So I want to encourage you to take care of your body and give it the best. So I personally will never be seen in a fast food line, most likely. Even ones that offer plant-based burgers, it's becoming yucky to me. So I may, though, still, this will make you giggle with me. You may see me in a Dunkin' getting an iced coffee, but more people are going towards almond milk, oat milk if they want, soy milk, different plant-based milks too. Limiting dairy. I've started to do that because my body's better off with less milk products. I still will have milk products from time to time, but again, listen to your body. It tells you what is best for you. It really does. We just have to listen. I do. Do you start to feel overwhelmed in overcrowded places? You're probably not going to see me at a festival. I might go to a concert. And it's not about fear. It's just about overwhelmment of energies. I just tend to be very much, I want quiet. I don't, even if I love haunted places, I love history, I'd rather go during the day on a weekday instead of a tour. Now, I just like to be centered in the moment and to protect my energy, to protect my energy field. Because as you ascend up to the fifth dimension, you become more empathic. So I'm picking up everybody's feelings around me. And I had to be very protective. I had to be very protective in my work that I do, but also in my personal life. But I would say to you, that's not a step that you need to take. Just notice if you want to avoid crowds a little bit more, that's a sign of ascension, right? Also, and the older generations don't get this one. they think it has to do with laziness or, something like that. But we're understanding that our work that we do should be our soul's purpose, not just a 9-to-5 job, not just about the paycheck, that we have to follow the call of our soul. I've done that, and I'm still doing it. I'm still branching. Listen to where your soul is calling you. Life is supposed to have meaning, and you will start to crave life having meaning, being here for a reason, which again will lead to more spirituality, more faith, more calmness, more peace. So we have to follow what we love. We have to find the meaning and to feel that hope and to know that, again, we're here for a purpose. So another thing, by the way, that's a step. Seek it. If you're not doing that right now, if you're still living unauthentically, try to take baby steps to be authentic, because we're coming to a time where authentic is the way to go, and only authentic. Also, you may notice, and I'm seeing this around me too, especially with younger people, you love the earth more. You start really feeling gushy about the earth. You want it to be all right. You want to protect it. You want its oceans to be clean. You want its lands to be preserved. That's another sign of ascension. And the last one, judging. It's a step, and I also want you to notice it. Don't judge. Everybody has a story. The ones who are maybe the most unlovable in this life are the ones screaming for the most love, because they don't know how, they haven't experienced love. And they do it in the opposite way than you would think we would normally do it with our human nature. That doesn't mean that you excuse them and that you don't, don't allow relationships into you or exposure to people who necessarily are like that, but always understand and have empathy that they are the product of their lives, their childhood, the people who impacted them. We don't know entirely. I get a sense, but I'm not in the person 24 hours a day to live it unless they're sitting across from me. And so it's very important to know that there's something more going on. And also judgment. We tend to make people good guys and bad guys. The bad guy is just as much loved as the good guy. There's no favoritism. It's important to give love when it's the hardest. When it is the hardest, but it has to be genuine. Even if you don't give anger, hate, or rage, it's still a dose of love. So whatever you can do about that is very important, because the fifth dimension is a time, and we're understanding this more, and you may be understanding this too as I do. It's a time of a return to love and remembering who you are fully. And who we are is highest consciousness, creators, powerful energy, infinite. We have access to the all. We are as well the I am. So again, be conscious of what you put after I am, because that is what is in your life. I am, or I can instead of I can't. Please try not to say I hate or it's hard, because that is what will continue to be created for you all on a loop into your present and into your future. All right? And also, I forgot this one. When I go back to relationships, you may find your relationships change romantically too, because as you ascend, you don't want to settle. You understand it's about love. It's about harmony. It is about being your truest, largest, grandest self. And so anyone who's not aligned with you, that can go romantic too. And if someone leaves you romantically, that is what's happening. So keep that in mind for anyone who may be going through or has gone through or has the the possibility of a broken heart or a broken relationship in that way. It's up-leveling. All right? This time of bridging from third to fourth to fifth comes and brings us to our most abundant state, because abundance is our natural state. The universe is unlimited. You attract everything you need to be provided for, but you also understand that you can ask for more, that life has meaning, that fear is not truth. So notice within yourself the subtleties even of that happening in your own life, in your own self, but then also try to implement steps of what you don't see, not to speed something up, but because it will link you in to that unlimited source, and it will help you to be even more provided for and to see it, how much you are provided for, which can only bring you increase in your life. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you connected with that. Please, again, if you're on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share. Check me out at lisahop.com and Instagram, Spiritual Coach Lisa M. Hop, and also Facebook, Lisa M. Hop, Spiritual Coach and Medium. Again, the link to purchase the meditations that I've loaded is Stan, STAN, store / Serenity Harbor. Serenity Harbor is my business name. I picked that business name 20 years ago because I wanted a place where people came and they felt they had serenity in that moment. It was like a port for them before they leave and go back to the everyday life. So it's not about water. It's about meaning. So thank you again. Please get them and let me know how they positively impact you. And if you're listening to this on Sunday, have a wonderful Sunday and a wonderful week. And I'll talk to you next time.